Hey everybody, it's Jennifer Nicole Bianchini, and welcome to day 3 of our Debloat and Find Your Calm challenge. So today we're going to be talking more about the food, the nutrition, and the mindful eating and how that can help us actually debloat. What is bloating? Bloating is when our abdomen swells or is distended. There's a flush of an increase of water in our belly, and a lot of times that can happen for many different reasons. So sometimes it can happen because of the foods we're eating. So we may have intolerances or sensitivities to certain foods. We may have a dysbiosis in our gut or our microbiome. So we may have some extra bacteria in there, or some of our bacteria might not be as flourishing or thriving as the other bacteria. So that is a dysbiosis or an imbalance of our gut microbiome. And then there could be some other conditions as well. So that is a lot of where bloating comes from. But on the other side of that, bloating can come from lifestyle factors, right? So when you're getting your period, it's that time of month, right? It could be a week before our cycle, a couple days before. Our body just naturally starts to hold in some sodium retention, and therefore we have fluid in our gut. But there's many other lifestyle factors. So things such as just eating way too fast, right? They always used to say, chew your food 30 times a bite or so, but chewing your food slowly is a factor. Eating too much, right? We can eat on whatever's on our plate, the clean plate gang, and we've eaten now too much and now we feel too full. So not checking in with our hunger fullness cues. Just eating while we're distracted, right? We can eat so much more when we're just not paying attention, or even when we're in social gatherings and we're enjoying ourselves. We can just be talking and drinking and enjoying ourselves, but now we're just kind of eating without even realizing what we're actually putting into our bodies. So mindful eating habits and activation of the parasympathetic nervous system are the two best ways to help debloat when it comes to these lifestyle factors. There's so many factors and variables that have to do with when and why we may feel bloated. But as we've been talking about over the course of our 3 days, is what really can help with debloating is calming. So if we can find a sense of calm every time we are about to eat a meal or snack, anytime we're able to find that calm before we start to indulge in our meals, that's going to help because we're going to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And again, what is the parasympathetic nervous system? The rest and digest system. So although there's many other aspects of why we may feel bloated, I'm going to share with you a couple of my favorite foods, and I'm actually going to also share with you one of my favorite recipes to help debloat. But a couple of tips and tricks before we start when it comes to mindful eating. So mindful eating is this big word, it's a buzzword, right? What is it though? Well, it's taking our meals and making a practice out of them, a mindfulness practice. So when you're preparing your meals, or even if you're getting takeout or you're at a restaurant, you can practice mindful eating wherever you are and with whoever you are with. So whenever it comes to a meal, don't eat while you're watching TV, reading, working, or anything that has a lot of distractions, if you can help it, right? Sometimes I know we're at work and we're kind of busy and we just kind of have to eat on the run. Even if you're eating in your car or while you're working, you can still practice mindfulness while you eat. So I always say the first thing is take a deep breath. Just take an inhale, take an exhale. And that one breath already allows your body to say, hey, I'm preparing for something. I'm calming down. I'm activating my parasympathetic nervous system. Then when you have your meal in front of you, no matter what it is, even if it is a quick little snack that you might just boom, 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 eat it really quickly, indulge in it, savor it, eat each bite and savor each bite. So that means we're going to bring our mind into our physical body. So when we take a bite of something, it could just be this cucumber right here, right, which is one of my favorite debloating foods. When you take a bite of it, instead of simply just chewing and just, right, bite, bite, chew, chew, slowly, mindfully chew the food and notice how it tastes, how it feels in your mouth. This, right, it feels cool and crisp and watery. And just let it register and then take another bite. And then by the time, this works especially well when it comes to right? A lot of times we bloat because we are just eating too fast. That could just be one of the quickest, easiest solutions to fix bloating. So if we eat too fast, boom, we get full quickly, it doesn't register. And now, before we even know it, before we've even finished our meal, we're already instantly bloated. So just taking that moment to chew slowly, to let it register, and especially if you're eating something that our brain lights up with, say for instance, chocolate cake. Take a bite of chocolate cake, our brain, boom, instantly lights up and says, oh, I love this, give me more, give me more. By the time you finish the cake, you've probably eaten way more than you needed because you've been full after half the cake. And second off, you're not actually registering how great it tastes. It tastes really great bite 1, 2, and 3, but after the third or fourth bite, most of the time we're not really even registering it. So if you want the whole cake, you want to enjoy it, go for it. But keyword, enjoy it. No matter what you eat, enjoy it. So breathe before you eat, chew slowly, allow yourself to feel the sensations of how it feels in your mouth, how it tastes, how your brain is lighting up, and then bring it from the mind to the physical, and then notice how you're feeling. I always like to say for the last tip is check in. So before you eat, when you take that breath, check into your body and just notice how hungry you really are, right? Are you so hungry you're starving where you can eat anything? Are you like at a level 3 or 4 out of 10? Or you maybe at like a 6 or 7 and you're kind of just eating because there's people around, it's social, there's food around. So kind of checking in. Halfway between your meal, check in, and then at the end of your meal, check in again. Notice hunger fullness cues, because that's going to be a huge part of mindful eating. As for mindful eating, number 1, take that breath, activate our rest and digest system. Number 2, chew slowly. Number 3, allow the feelings of the food, right? Register how it tastes, how it feels. Number 4, bring it to the physical body and notice how you actually feel. And number 5, do your hunger fullness check-ins. So that being said, I did want to share with you one of my favorite debloating smoothies here. So what I'm going to do is take watermelon. So these are all debloating foods, right? So we got watermelon, we have limes or citrus. Limes and lemons are really great for debloating. Ginger. So whether you take this ginger root, you boil it, you put it in a smoothie, or you just take a bag of tea. Ginger tea is amazing before and after a meal. Cucumbers. Cucumbers are one of the most watery foods. They're so good for debloating. And then watermelon. So watermelon has a misconception. It's super, super sweet. But honestly, a cup of watermelon has about 9-10 grams of sugar total. So today what we're going to do is put about a half a cup or so of watermelon in here. I've already cut it up for you, but I have our beautiful watermelon here as well, right? Watermelon is such a beautiful fruit. And even when it comes to mindful eating, looking at the food, right? So look at the food. When you're eating your cucumber, kind of look at it. Kind of notice like this food, where it came from, right? Like our food takes a tremendous journey along its path before it actually comes into our hand and ready for our meal. So kind of acknowledging and being grateful for that, because it really is truly amazing. I'm going to take about a half a cucumber. Now I'm using a little bit of a smaller Ninja today, so kind of whatever we can fit in here. I'm going to do 1/2 of a lime, and you can always modify to your taste here. So going to do half of the lime. Ooh, that's a juicy one. You can squeeze it with your hand, or you can use one of these lemon lime squeezies. Squeeze it in. You know what? I like lime small. I'm going to do a whole one today. But again, everything by taste. And then when it comes to ginger, ginger is really, really strong, right? So you don't need too much ginger. You can kind of just use 1 or 2 little nuggets of the whole thing. So I'm going to take just this one. It's a pretty big nugget, so we'll throw that in there too. I'm going to cover it. And then take this Ninja over here, and I'm just going to mix it up. So shake it a little bit, and let's mix. So here we have our watermelon, cucumber, lime, ginger drink. Taking a sip. It's so tasty. This drink right here will help you to naturally debloat. I did want to share just a few other foods that I think are amazing for debloating. So we have here grapefruit. Grapefruit is another type of citrus, right? Grapefruits are amazing for debloating. So have a half a grapefruit after a meal. That really helps with digestion. Then we have celery. Celery is a watery veggie, so that also really, really helps. And then my all-time favorite, it is for debloating, detoxifying, and supporting our liver. So it cleanses our liver, cleanses any extra toxins that might be in our body. It actually tastes really good. And it is known as a weed for all of us, but it's dandelion. So I don't know if any of you guys have had dandelion before. One of my favorite vegetables. We can do many, many things with it, which I will share with you at another time. But dandelion is amazing for so many aspects. So debloating especially. So again, first and foremost is find your calm. Take a breath. Take 5 breaths. Allow yourself to be in that space where you're calm so your body is ready to digest your food. Thank you so much for being part of my challenge. I hope that you take some of these tips. I hope that you use the box breathing techniques, you do the twisty yoga, and that you try this smoothie. I hope you try some of these debloating foods and let me know what you think. I'm excited to hear more from you and excited to work with you on your journey moving forward. So if you would love to continue your journey with me, many different ways. You can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Body to Soul Health. I'll be sharing lots and lots of tips for mindful eating, for hormonal balancing, different types of meals and recipes, and of course, yoga and ways to activate our parasympathetic nervous system in our everyday living. So thank you so much. Nutritiously yours, Jennifer Nicole Bianchini, founder at Body to Soul Health.